She told my family I was the reason our marriage failed, but the moment the wedding photographer handed me the raw photos, her entire lie collapsed. I'm Jamal, I'm 29, and I work as a night shift security dispatcher in Baltimore. I'm the voice on the radio when something goes wrong, the calm person you don't see. It's not the kind of job that gets you applause, but it's the kind of job that trained me to notice details, timestamps, patterns, things people assume will stay hidden if they talk loud enough. My wife Raina was the opposite of me. She was bright, social, the center of every room. We met at a friend's cookout and she made me feel like my quiet wasn't boring. It was safe. We married 2 years later in a small ceremony with too many relatives and not enough breathing room. I remember thinking that day that I'd never be alone again. For a while, I wasn't. We rented a row house, saved slowly, talked about having kids once we were stable. Then Raina got a job in event planning and everything sped up. New friends, new schedules, new attention. She started coming home late, smelling like perfume that wasn't hers. I asked questions gently because I didn't want to be that guy. She told me I was insecure. She told me my job made me suspicious of everyone. The betrayal didn't hit like thunder. It was more like mold, quiet, spreading, invisible until it isn't. She guarded her phone. She started picking fights right before weekend work trips. She stopped touching me like she liked me. Then, one night, I saw a message pop up on her locked screen while she was showering. It was a man's name I didn't know, followed by a heart emoji and a hotel room number. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She attacked. She said I was never home. She said my life was all sirens and paranoia. She said she deserved someone who made her feel alive. 2 weeks later, she moved out and filed for divorce. And that's when the real cruelty began. Raina didn't just leave. She rewrote history. She told my mother I was controlling. She told my cousins I was emotionally abusive. She posted vague captions online about surviving toxic love, and people who'd eaten at my table liked the posts without asking me a single question. Even worse, she demanded alimony because she claimed I'd prevented her from advancing her career. She wanted half the savings account too, even though most of it came from my overtime. The rising tension wasn't just heartbreak, it was humiliation. Family gatherings turned into interrogations. Friends avoided me. My own aunt told me to apologize if I wanted peace. I started doubting myself, replaying every argument, wondering if I'd accidentally become the villain in someone else's story. The turning point came from something I didn't even remember existed. Our wedding photos. Raina had insisted on a high-end photographer. She wanted every angle, every moment captured. After the divorce filing, I asked the photographer for the raw files, mostly because I wanted to delete the memories and move on. Instead, the files gave me the truth. In between the official ceremony shots were time-stamped candids, Raina outside the venue with a man I recognized instantly. Not a friend, not a coworker. It was her best friend's older brother, the one who'd hugged me at the reception and thanked me for taking care of her. In one photo, they were pressed together behind the building, hidden from the crowd. In another, his hand was on her waist like it belonged there. The timestamp was from 2 hours before she walked down the aisle. I sat on my couch and felt something inside me snap into place. This wasn't a marriage that fell apart. This was a fraud that finally ran out of oxygen. I didn't blast it online. I didn't send it to everyone for sympathy. I gave the files to my attorney, who submitted them as evidence of infidelity that predated the marriage. Then I brought printed copies to the next mediation session because Raina had been so confident, so sure I'd fold. The resolution was brutal in the cleanest way. Her alimony request was denied. The judge questioned her credibility. Her story of being trapped didn't hold up against timestamped evidence showing she'd been cheating before vows were even exchanged. The savings split shifted in my favor, and when my family finally saw the proof, the silence that followed felt heavier than any apology. Raina lost more than money. She lost the version of herself that everyone had protected. Her friends backed away. Her mother stopped defending her. Even the man in the photos disappeared once the lie became public and inconvenient. I didn't get my old life back, but I got something better. The truth, on paper, in ink, with dates attached. The final punchline is this. Raina spent years building a story where I was the villain, but she forgot one thing. When you lie loudly, you still can't outrun a timestamp.